What's happening, guys? It's Jeremy Blanton with RE/MAX Southern Shores, and today we're going to talk about the good things you want to know about living in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Last week I did a video where I talked about the things that you might not like living here, and so this week, as promised, this is a video all about the things that make you want to move here. If you didn't see last week's video, I would say pause right here, click the link right up above here, go watch that, and then come back so that you know what I might reference today. You know what I'm talking about from last week's video. But anyway, let's get into this. And the first thing on the list that I want to talk about is the number one reason everybody wants to move here, and that is the beach. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina has some of the most pristine and gorgeous beaches all around the country. We have over 60 miles of beach land from the northern end up in Little River all the way down into Pawleys Island that you can go and enjoy. You know, I grew up in Pennsylvania in Reading, PA, and we would always go down to the Jersey Shore, and the only thing I really ever had to compare it to was more of the Jersey Shore. And then our family took our first trip down here. And the first time we came to Myrtle Beach, it was our last time really ever visiting the Jersey Shore again. Instead of traveling 3 hours west to go down there, we would jump in the car and drive 10 hours south to come down to Myrtle Beach. Why? Because the beaches here are larger, the sand is cleaner, the ocean is cleaner, the ocean water is warmer. You can go in it much longer in the year than you ever could up in Jersey. I remember when we would go to the beach out there, we'd be happy if the water was 70 degrees. Where down here, if it's 70, it's really, really cold. So guys, you really want to think about the beach as the number one reason why you're moving to the area. Many people do it all the time, and it is probably the most popular thing that I hear from people as to why they're coming down here. Oh, one more thing on the beach. When you're going down to the beach, if you want to have more of a relaxed time, don't go down to the beach areas by the resorts. Go find the areas of Myrtle Beach and the surrounding areas that are away from there. That's where all the locals go down to the ocean. It's going to be just locals in that area, much less crowded, a lot more of a relaxed atmosphere. My favorite spot is the Golden Mile. It's a section down in Myrtle Beach around 30th Avenue up to 52nd, where it's just $1 million homes. You might find 20 to 100 people on the beach in that area. Now, 100 sounds like a lot, but in comparison to that hotel that's just south of there or just north, where they have 1,000 to 2,000 people staying in that resort right now, they're all on the beach right in front of that hotel. So definitely keep that in mind. The second reason why people love living here in the Myrtle Beach area is that we have tons and tons of entertainment and things to do in our area. Whether that's going to one of the nightly shows that takes place at places like the Carolina Opry or Alabama Theater, or maybe going over to Medieval Times and doing that, or the Pirate Show. There's so many of those types of things that you can go and check out each and every day of the week. There's also other types of entertainment that takes place all over the place up and down the Strand. Whether that's going down to the inlet and visiting one of the restaurants down there like the Hot Fish Club that's going to have live bands playing all the time, or going over to the Boathouse in Myrtle Beach and checking out your favorite band playing there. Or maybe you want to see one of the bigger name bands that are out there, so you go up to North Myrtle to Barefoot and visit House of Blues. They have all types of bands that come into our area on a regular basis. So there's tons of things to do to keep you entertained each and every night of the week. In addition to that, there's just so many other things to do in the area, whether that's visiting places like Top Golf and hitting golf balls at night, or going over to the NFL Hall of Fame at Broadway at the beach, or just so many other things that you can do. You will never be bored on a night or not know what to do and have to just sit at home. If you want something to do every night of the week, you can definitely find it here in our area. The third reason why everyone wants to move to our area, well, it's pretty simple. It is our weather. Yes, we have that really hot summer that I talked about in last week's video. And if you didn't listen to me before, pause it here again. Go back and watch that video. It's gonna make a lot more sense. But in our area, we have extremely mild winter weather. We have this amazing time of year. We're starting to get into it right now here in September, where we go into what we call the yo-yo weather. Last week, it happened. We had a day or two where it was down in the 50s and 60s, and it was really cold, and we're running to grab our jackets and bundle up, and probably there were some people that even thought about turning on their heat for a day. I didn't do that. But the next day after that, it was back into the mid to high 80s again. And so we have this time of year in the fall, and it happens again in the spring, where we have one day really hot weather, the next day really cold. Because this weather is so crazy, this is what we have to do in our house every morning when the kids are getting ready for school. They always ask, Alexa, what's the weather today in Myrtle Beach? I'm sorry if you're getting right now the forecast here in Myrtle Beach, but my guess is if you live up in the north, it's probably a little bit nicer down here, and you're probably thinking, man, I wish I'd be down there at the beach. But we have to ask every single morning to know what's it gonna be like today. But now as we get into winter, we have one of the mildest winters you can find. It is great. We still have an actual winter though, where the temperatures sometimes might get down into the 20s or 30s at night, but during the day, it's still gonna get back up into the 50s most days of the week. We do, once in a while, get some snow. I've talked about it in the past, and this is one of my favorite stories about snow. It happened a couple years ago. We haven't had snow now for the last 2 years or so, I would say. But one morning was a Saturday morning. My now 9-year-old, she was 7 at the time, came running in our room on a Saturday morning and said, Dad, there's snow on the ground. And we went, what? There's snow? We looked out the window. Sure enough, there was some snow on the ground. We ran outside, got dressed in 18 layers because you don't have the winter clothing anymore because you don't need it. So instead, we ran out in 18 layers of clothes. We made snowballs. We threw them at each other for 15 minutes. The neighbors were all out. We had a big, fun neighborhood snowball fight. It literally lasted 15 minutes because we used all the snow we could find. Came inside, ate Saturday breakfast, got cleaned up and changed, and by the time it got to lunchtime, all the snow was melted away and we were able to go on with our day. We went and ran all our errands for the day, and you wouldn't even have known that the snow was there. So we have some really, really mild winters in our area, which once again is one of the greatest reasons of living here at the beach. Number 4 on our list is the reasonable cost of living here in Myrtle Beach. Now, yes, over the last few years, prices have risen in our area, but the reality is that it has risen everywhere in the country right now. I talk to people on a regular basis who are thinking about making the move down to this area, and one of the biggest reasons why they're coming here is it's a much more affordable place to live. The houses are going to be a lot less money, your taxes are going to be less, gas, food, all of those things are more affordable here than most other parts of the country. What a house here that might be $330,000 might be $600,000, $700,000, $800,000 in other parts of the country. I want to tell you a story about my clients, Ryan and April, who recently made a move here from Oregon. They live just a few miles away from the Nike corporate headquarters, and they wanted to move south. They came over here to the East Coast. They actually found some of my videos and reached out to me, and I had so much fun working with them. Ryan and April, if you're watching this, hey, how you guys doing? Your house is so gorgeous. But their home that they had up there in Oregon was built back in the 1940s. It was about 1,700 square feet. Both Ryan and April both have a job. They run their own business and they work from home. So they had 1,700 square feet for their business, their home, and for their 2 children to all live in. They had to convert things around and had everything on top of it. Their bedroom was also the office, which was also everything else. It was kind of crazy. But they moved over here. They were able to buy a beautiful, gorgeous, custom-built home that was 3,800 square feet. They more than doubled the size of what they had before in Oregon moving over here. They sold their house there for $925,000, were able to buy the custom home here for $875,000, put $50,000 away in the bank, and more than doubled their size of their house and have something brand spanking new with all the top finishes you could ever think of. So people are moving to our area regularly because they can get a lot more house and have a much more affordable life. And the final reason why people love living in Myrtle Beach is we have so many local hotspots. Now, while there's a lot of things to do in the area and there's tons and tons of tourism things that take place, we also have a really awesome local hotspot area where you can go to restaurants. You can go and do things that are not going to be in the tourism areas. You know, for one of the things, we talk about restaurants a lot on this channel. You can go to great restaurants like Handley's down in Carolina Forest, or Sneaky Beagle at the other end. Or maybe you want to go up to Bistro 90 and have an amazing, awesome dinner. These are local hotspots where only you're going to find people who live in the area. You're not going to have 2 to 3 hour waits to get a table to eat. We also do all kinds of other amazing things like go down to the Hulk Trail or go on one of the preserve walks that are here in our area. And we find so many things to do to get out in the beautiful nature that Myrtle Beach has to offer, and fun things that are going to do with the whole family that don't cost a ton of money. So if you're thinking about making the move to the area, My contact information is going to be down below. Feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to help you do that. And as always, guys, if you enjoyed today's video, do me a favor. Give it a thumbs up, get that bell on, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.